Hi everyone. I wanted to make a video today that I saw come up on my YouTube feed. Actually, it came up on my Twitter feed, but then it later also came up on my YouTube feed. It's a video by Bloomberg, and it presents how China is slowing down and how, well, I haven't watched the video, but the title of the video is What China Slowdown Means for All of Us. So honestly, it sounds like this video is going to discuss how the Chinese economy has changed and how the past, how the boom we saw in the past, how we cannot expect that in the future. That's what I'm assuming the video would be about. As you know, I'm an investor in Alibaba, so I thought I watch this video together with you and I record my reaction. So once again, the video title is What China's Slowdown Means for All of Us, and it is by Bloomberg Originals. And you know what's impressive is that just it was uploaded yesterday and it has already racked up 400 over little over 400,000 views. That's quite a bit considering it's a business video. Anyways, let's watch together.
China's economic growth was like nothing the world has ever experienced before. But now it's seeing a significant slowdown.
There's the property crisis and all of the fallout from there.
We're not expecting any meaningful recovery in Chinese property market in 2024.
You're seeing deflationary pressures play out in China right now.
This is the deepest and the longest deflation in China since 1998 Asian financial crisis.
The stock market has lost some $6 trillion in value just over the last year and a half. You're seeing rises in unemployment, particularly among the country's youth.
The challenge for the rest of the world is that this slowdown means China is now cutting back on spending. That means Louis Vuitton sells fewer handbags, Apple sells fewer iPhones, and Chinese funding on railways in Africa and ports in Europe dries up.
Everybody from big multinational companies to ordinary people have been swept up in China's boom story. That's now coming to an end.
In short, it's bad for the global economy. The question is, how bad?
Okay. No, so far, honestly, uh, as someone who follows news on a daily basis, who stays on top of news, who is uh, very familiar with news, anything that they're saying is not new. The only thing is, interestingly, what they're saying is that with China's economy slowing down, the whole global economy would be impacted. So that's interesting because we always look at US and Europe in the same like perspective. When we hear about US slowing down, we assume the whole world will slow down. But and that's because US is probably the biggest consumer out there, and China is the largest producer of goods out there. So, but now with China slowing down, they're saying the world economy will also be impacted. So that's interesting.
We can understand the impact of all of this, we need to get to grips with how bad things are in China. Because for most of the past 2 decades, the country's growth has been unstoppable.
This is an economy that became the world's factory floor by driving up tons and tons of expansion and becoming this giant manufacturing powerhouse.
The country's GDP regularly saw double-digit growth, and in 2010, it overtook Japan to become the world's second largest economy.
People who were farmers moved to the cities and became factory workers. It brought tremendous amounts of wealth to all of these people, really just driving them up out of poverty and into this burgeoning, massive middle class.
The rise of China's middle class benefited a wide range of multinational brands. Volkswagen, for example, sold over 500,000 cars in China in 2005. By 2019, it was 4 million. Apple's China sales went from almost $13 billion to close to $70 billion within a decade. By 2018, the cosmetics giant Estee Lauder relied on China for most of its sales growth. 36-year-old Stephanie has only known a surging China. She started working 10 years ago helping companies enter the Chinese market. She just assumed the quality of life would keep improving.
在几年前的时候，大家都是觉得，来中国都有很多的发展机会，收入的范围其实就是在3万上下。我到年底的时候，我可能想说，那我奖励自己一个包，就是这样。之前比较喜欢 YSL。
But then that boom story came to a halt. During the pandemic, China stuck to a strict COVID-0 policy that made local governments spend massive amounts of money on quarantine and testing, and saw businesses, factories, and entire cities shut down over a handful of infections. Geopolitics, especially tensions with the US, have exacerbated the problems facing China's economy. Former President Donald Trump imposed a raft of tariffs on Chinese goods. And the Biden administration's limits on China's access to chip technology, along with concerns about a possible conflict over Taiwan, have all meant foreign businesses have reduced their direct investment into China. And there's also the property crisis.
This is an economy that was built up through this rapid expansion of infrastructure projects fueled by rapid buildup of debt among developers, among local governments. You've seen the government crack down on bad actor developers trying to rein in unnecessary spending or shadow debt, but it's created this massive confidence crisis within China. We've also seen that translate into weakness within the stock market. People flee the equities market under this fear that the economy is just slowing down too much.
上下车当心缝隙，请注意脚下安全。
In 2023, Stephanie was let go when her employer decided to downsize its operations in China.
我其实是从来没有想过失业这件事情会发生在我身上。我觉得这个事情是应该只是那些。
To be honest, getting laid off. To be honest, getting laid off is not. It's not that big of a deal anymore, especially in 2024. I've been laid off once at least. The most recently was 4 or 5 years ago, before COVID, and you know what? I've been with that company for 10 years, so it's not a big deal in today's world. You have to be ready for that. And you know, a lot of people take it personally. I think it's you know, they got laid off because of their performance or this or that, something personal. But at the end of the day, that's not why. That's not what the reason is. If your company is in trouble, yeah, there's no way around it. People will be laid off, and chances are you may get laid off. It could be, and as I said, it doesn't have anything to do with performance. It could be what the dynamics at work are like, what the politics at work is like. Anyways, this is a different topic, but I thought I'd share that.
比如说，有重大失误的这样的一个前提下，所以这些事情发生的时候，我第一个反应就是，为什么是我
Stephanie is not alone.
我被裁员了。
我被裁员了。原因是因为我的成本比较高。
我失业了。
Nearly 1 in 3 Chinese office workers reported falling salaries in 2023, the highest share in at least 6 years. To make ends meet, Stephanie found a job as an insurance agent, but her income saw a big drop.
还没有过过这种每天像过山车一样的这种收入的这样的生活。当你没有这种信心的时候，你就会把这些没有用的这些消费就先 现在最大的减少就是直接从市区搬到了郊区，所以这个房租就一下省了不少钱。我之前是6000，现在降到了2000多。
For those who are entering the job market, the situation is even worse. In fact, youth unemployment got so bad that China stopped publishing the data for a few months. Fresh graduates like Yang Shifang and her girlfriend now have to keep a close eye on their finances.
Oh my god， 它直接标在上面平价菜。
我们下回可以来这边买哦。
一般菜的话，像盒马那种，它是晚上8点钟之后是会有打折的，而且它的折扣压得很低。
买一个小白菜，这个小白菜竟然只要9毛钱。
这位柳是6折，然后这里面的话基本都是6折，都是。
但是呢，它就是新鲜度会稍微低一些，但我觉得这个倒不用很在意，因为你买回家肯定马上就做掉了，不可能说再放下去了。是特别冷。
对啊，之前没有昨天冷哎。
对对。
我个人是比较喜欢逛的，但是我看到那些东西就没有太大的去购买的欲望。我这边还有日本流行的那边
它很有名的，在以前。哦，我真的很喜欢这一张，
好漂亮。
等到我中年的时候，应该就可以，匹配它的那个消费水平了。
我赚多少钱就过什么样的生活，没必要说非得为了那些钱去奔波劳累。父辈那一代就是他们可以靠他们的双手努力就好了，但是我们这一代并不一样的。
It's true.
我吃了好多打折，一个开心回头了，怎么会这样
？It's this change in attitude that will have broader implications for the rest of the world. All those companies that depended on China for much of their growth are going to have a way tougher time going forward. And that has implications for spending outside China too.
We still haven't really seen that return to tourism to other parts of the world in the way that you'd ultimately want to see out of the Chinese spender.
And finally, there's the political piece, which has big consequences.
This new economic reality in China is also likely to lead to this new political reality.
The slowdown complicates things for President Xi Jinping, who's seeking to solidify his position as China's most powerful leader since Mao Zedong.
巩固和增强经济回升向好态势，实现经济行稳致远。
When the economy is booming, people are more likely to accept the Communist Party's controls on things, like freedom of speech in exchange for prosperity. A slowing economy risks the opposite reaction. It also means China's influence outside the country may be curtailed, with foreign spending on the same scale as recent years becoming harder to justify. There are ramifications for U.S. taxpayers, too. China has, for much of the past 3 decades, been one of the single biggest investors in U.S. treasuries, bonds sold by the U.S. government to pay for public services. China has already cut back on its U.S. debt holdings in a big way. If that continues, it could become more expensive for the U.S. to borrow money. For now, it's ordinary Chinese bearing the brunt of the slowdown.
我对生活没有说太大的希望。 因为我觉得期望越大，失望越大。
当大家觉得经济好的时候，觉得自己，每个人都觉得自己第2年肯定比第1年能赚更多的钱，然后或者说我只要换一份工作，我就能比这份工作赚更多的钱。之前大家所有人都是这样想的，但是现在，我亲身经历，包括身边朋友的经历，就发现其实事实不是这样的。
Okay, that's it, I guess. 10 minutes. So, I guess this video was a bit different than I thought what it would be. I mean, it touched on all the same themes. China is slowing down. There's geopolitical tension. China has not yet recovered from COVID. Chinese consumers are, their confidence has shaken and they're taking measures to spend less. Youth employment is high. So honestly, like nothing new, but what's different about this video is that they shared a lot of personal experiences three characters, I guess, two stories, and they were just showing what changes have come into their life and um, how yeah they've had to adjust. So overall, I think the video paints a pretty bleak picture about China these days. Uh, am I surprised? No. The numbers show that China is slowing down. Interestingly, they did not mention the word recession. I guess China is not in a recession, but yeah, people I guess feel like they're in recession because the way they mentioned how many people have lost jobs, how their wages are going down. That all sounds like a recession to me. Anyways, I thought I'd share this video with you. For Alibaba investors, nothing changes. In the short term, there will not be any relief. Alibaba will take some time to recover. That's it. Thanks and goodbye.